July 15th. Made it to the farmer's market, but pretty rainy. My tent's kind of leaking. I don't anticipate this to be a great turnout this week again. So after the farmer's market, did lunch with my mom, then I headed home and I was out like a light. Got a nice nap, a couple hours. Last night was just a late night, mainly because that refrigerator broke on me, and that's how I save time on the egg washing. So I kind of just get it going throughout the week, wash a couple here and there, put them in the fridge. That way on Friday I can just load everything up and we're good to go. But I wasn't able to do that. I don't like leaving eggs in a cooler for days on end, even if you are changing ice. I just don't prefer that. I only like leaving them in there, a max of 12 hours. So I wanted to get them all done last night. That's why I didn't get too terribly many done, because it was getting late with everything going on. But anyways, gonna go ahead, let the chickens out, let them do their thing. I'm not gonna get in the beehive. I had originally anticipated that, but it's getting kind of late in the day. I still have that horrible sunburn itch going on, and if that were to hit me while I go in that hive, it would not be a good thing. So they're super active right now. You can see them all in the light pretty good. But this hive definitely has some more honey that I can harvest. So the chickens, everything's all good over here. For those that have just started watching, I have two hives over here. I call them the cedar hive and then the white hive. I also have two chicken coops. I have one that has buffs and marins, and another coop that has some chicks. They're not really chicks anymore, but they came from a 5th grade project that I ran with an elementary school. So I gave them some eggs, they hatched them, and then I took the chicks back. So there's about 40 chickens over here at this point, and only about 20 of them laying. About to go over to my larger property. Got about 60 chickens over there, and then 40 of those are laying, another 20-ish aren't. And gonna go ahead and get chores done over there. Oh, I do have one beehive over there as well, but I'm not gonna get any honey from them this year. So I've gotten a few people asking at the farmer's market how my chickens are raised, and 60 of them over here at the moment. I've got about 20 in each coop. People ask all the buzzwords: are they organic, non-GMO, pasture raised, free range, all these things. My answer is my birds are pasture raised. I don't consider them free range because I don't let them out of these coops, because this is wide open space here. You got two woods and there are hawks. It's just a highway for them, and they go back and forth over this field constantly. And from my previous farming experience on another farm that I was running before starting my own, never had good results with letting chickens just run. Not just hawks, but a lot of other things like coyotes and raccoons. So I keep the chickens in here for their safety. Plus it does concentrate the manure into one spot, which is nice, so I can control where I'm fertilizing and not. I leave the green strip in between, so when I turn the coops to go the other way, they have space and they don't have to be shuffled around too terribly much. As far as organic, this field is not certified organic or anything. When I bought it, it'd been sitting dormant for a year. It hadn't been farmed, and then it went on the market and I bought it. I haven't sprayed or done anything. I planted all organic pasture mix, so it's all started from organic seeds. Not sprayed anything, no reason to, especially with bees. I just hate any sort of pesticide, herbicide, anything like that. So I raise them all organically. As far as the feed, it is all organic. I get it from a local feed mill that's just 10 minutes away from me. They mill it their own. Everything comes from local farms, which is great, and it's organic, so it's a win-win all around. So that is basically how the chickens are raised in a nutshell. The chickens at the other farm property, the smaller property, I don't let them out too terribly often, like as far as all day. They mainly stay in the coop and I'll let them out for an hour or two a day. It's a smaller property. I thought about building these over there, but I don't really want to have to hassle with it. I'm gonna be moving them over here really soon anyways. So they're not, only 20 of them are laying over there. The others are chicks. These guys aren't even laying yet. These are my speckled Sussex. So anyways, that's how the chickens are raised. They get moved once a day, sometimes twice a day, to some new pasture. We got a lot of clover in here, a lot of different grasses, different types of clovers. Built all these coops, pretty simple. My dad made all these lifts, which are really nice. So you just push them down, pop in a little thing, go around to the front and pull it. So anyway, I can't really pull the chicken coops one-handed, so I'm gonna put you guys down. And on the smaller property, the reason I don't leave the chickens out 24/7 to free range is the neighbors have dogs and they are always getting out, and they've been really close to the chickens before. With the woods behind there, there's been a coyote I've seen, there's been foxes, and I'm not there, 24/7, and anything could really get them. So I like having them somewhere secure that nothing's gonna get them here and at the other property. Howdy y'all, today is July 17th. Just got the chicken coops moved. Got to give them a refill of food and water. But also I got a special treat for them today. I got a bunch of watermelon. All right, y'all, it's a little after 5. You can see up to the north, we're getting some sort of system moving in. I don't know if my smaller property is getting it. I haven't looked at the radar just yet. I don't even know if this property is going to get it. Sometimes it just likes to stay right north. I don't know. I hope we get some though. But anyway, I do want to get into that white hive today. I've been putting it off for a little while. One, because they're mean and I know I'm going to get stung. But I do need to get in there just to see how they're doing with their honey supers. Also would like to dust them with powdered sugar to knock the varroa mites off of them, which they pick up from flowers as they go around, and then bring them back to the hive. And then the varroa mites they love hanging out on bees in a beehive. So anyways, I also have to get the drone comb in there too, because they don't have any drone comb in there. So yeah, I don't know. I would like to do that, but given the time and some special circumstances, we have a new little one joining the family today. The mom's in labor at the moment, and I'd kind of like to be there. So I'm gonna probably just wind up doing the baseline on chores, get in, get out, and that way I can head up to the hospital. Man, y'all, that storm blew up to be kind of big and ugly. It's kind of a gap right now, so it's a good time to get out. There's another big old cell right behind. It's not raining too bad right now, so I figured I'd hurry and run out because it's getting kind of late in the day at this point, just to get the chickens done. Just a few bees hanging out on the front porch. Definitely wouldn't have been able to get into that hive today anyway. Today is July 18th. A huge happy birthday and welcome to the world to my niece, who was just born a few hours ago. Super exciting. Both mom and baby are doing fantastic. Just really exciting for the entire family. So farming wise today, I've got to do the chickens, move the net, get them situated. I also have someone wanting to buy some hatching eggs, so I got to get those ready. And I've been neglecting the beehives, so I really got to get into all of them today. It's already getting kind of late in the day. As long as it stays good and sunny out and it's not going to rain. It's kind of cloudy like it might. But the plan is to get into all three. We'll start with the small hive over here and then work our way up into the larger hives. I haven't given the chickens any DE or diatomaceous earth in a little while. So I'm gonna give them some of that. They love dust bathing in it, so I'm just gonna give maybe a scoop and a half to each coop. About to get in the white hive, getting the smoker lit up. I bought these pellets. I thought they'd be a little bigger. Supposedly they last a little longer than just using anything else you have laying around. In this case, I'm using pine shavings. It also kind of gunks it up too, so I'd like to use something that burns a little cleaner. So gonna give these a try. Hopefully they work out all right. So I've got the white hive here stripped down to their very base. This is their first brood box, and this is truly their only brood box. This top brood box of theirs is purely honey. So what I'm gonna do is take out one frame of that and put in the drone comb. This frame right here that's kind of sticking up a little bit was the one I put in place of the drone comb, but there's a lot of eggs on it, and I really don't want to mess that up for them. So I'm just gonna let them keep that as it is, take a honey frame out, and then I'll give them the honey frame back once the drone comb's done. But they're all doing good. Gonna go ahead, put the hive back together, dust them all with powdered sugar. The smoker is still going strong. I put 2 pellets in there with some shavings, and honestly that was the perfect amount. It's lightening up just a little bit, but it still gets the job done. So this is the frame I took out, just kind of letting the bees wander off naturally. They'll find their way back in the hive. Always good to check and make sure the queen wasn't on there, because that would be bad. You definitely don't want her hanging outside the hive. So give them a few minutes, and then I'll take that. I'll probably go ahead and put it in the freezer, just so that way it's stored and nothing's gonna happen to it. It's getting kind of late, so I don't want to bug the mixed hive over here. I'll just do them tomorrow. They'll be pretty quick and simple. They do have one drone comb in there. I'd like to check it, and if it's looking good, I'll take it out, put it in the freezer. Leia, are you gonna come in? She is always the last chicken out. Howdy y'all, today is July 19th. These are my cucumbers, and actually, I think it was 2 days ago, I did pick one and eat one. I've got a few coming on that are looking pretty good, so maybe they'll get to the farmer's market here soon. I kind of like doing the taste test run on whatever I grow for a little while first, because kind of with these jalapenos here, I'm not a spicy person, so I picked a few, gave them to my dad. He said they weren't spicy in the least, so I kind of want to wait until they get hot, not just a green pepper. And then the habaneros here haven't really done anything. They did flower, but I'm not seeing any signs of peppers on them just yet. Squash are doing good, nothing to report there. And then I do have a candy cane pepper that finally turned into a candy cane, so that's cool. It doesn't have its stripes yet. Might just pick it and see what it tastes like. Supposedly they're sweeter once they turn red, so we'll see. They're already a pretty sweet pepper. Got a lot of nice looking bell peppers, got some green, purple, yellow, orange, all those. And the pumpkins are growing really well over here. I think every seed I planted came up. I planted 2 in each little hole, so gonna have a ton of pumpkins. Those are mainly just for the chickens, just so they have something fresh to eat when there's nothing else growing. But if I have a ridiculous amount of pumpkins, maybe I'll sell a few or decorate with a few. I'm gonna go ahead and get into this mixed hive now. I basically just want to see what they're doing with their honey supers. They have a drone comb. I believe it's in the bottom box. I'd like to check it, make sure it's not about to hatch. Dust everybody with powdered sugar. They'll be good. I'd like to get an estimate on how many bees are in this hive. I feel like it's a little smaller than the white hive. So the white hive, I'm estimating there are about 50,000 bees in there, just shy of 50,000. And they actually have one complete honey super, so I can do another honey harvest. It'll probably be sometime next week. There's no real big rush on it, as I have plenty of honey still, so plan to do that next week. They haven't done too much with the top super, but they're definitely going to start on that this week because their other honey super is completely full. I really like those little smoker pellets I got. I only put one in today with some pine shavings. I typically don't even use smoke with this hive. I just kind of want to see how long this will last during my hive inspection with just one pellet. This hive is just so nice, easy, and mellow to work with. Super gentle, not flooding out everywhere. Haven't used a wisp of smoke. So that green frame there, that's the plastic drone comb for male bees. There are some capped over cells on that, but not enough. There's really not much going on that frame, so I'm not going to bother taking it and freezing it today. This hive's doing fine. They don't have any honey to harvest. They've got a little bit in that cedar super, the second box from the top there, but nothing by any means that would be harvestable. Their 2 deep boxes look great, the 2 boxes on the bottom there. I'd estimate this hive has about 30 to 35,000 bees in it, whereas the white hive has about 50,000, so quite a huge population jump there. But both hives are doing great, so no complaints at all. Howdy y'all, today is July 20th. So my parents were out here yesterday evening, afternoon, and my mom saw one of those big old hornworms. They started looking around, and I think they got 20 of them. So I know I haven't even looked at my rows yet, so I know there's going to be some on here. It might be better to look at night, kind of just looking for some wilty or chewed up leaves, because these things are hard to see. It's those bright green caterpillars that blend in really well. Not seeing any. My mom said she lost 2 tomato plants just yesterday because of those worms. So I will be checking all my tomato plants really well. I'm on my 5th tomato plant in, and this right here, classic sign of that hornworm. So I have a feeling that there's going to be one on here since it chewed off all the leaves on that stem. So far I'm looking pretty good. This is only the 2nd tomato plant that I've seen where everything's eaten off kind of on some of the tips here. I didn't find a worm on that last tomato plant. Oh, here he is right there. That big old thing. So chewing up my tomato plants. He's gonna be chicken food. Well, only a couple of my plants have some damage, nothing terrible. It's just this one that I've found. Definitely gonna keep looking though, because I don't want them to become an issue. Those little worms are pretty destructive. This was a nice looking tomato plant and it is gone. Here's the 2nd tomato plant that got chewed up. That one has a slightly better chance of coming out of it because it has some bottom leaves and then top leaves. They're gone. So I only found 2 of those worms on the tomatoes today. Gonna be good chicken food. That takes us up to probably a little over 20 of these tomato worms in 2 days. So it's too bad it took a couple tomato plants dying before we noticed that we had some starting to creep up. But glad we got a hold of them and they're under control now. Howdy y'all, today is July 21st. It's actually about 10 o'clock at night right now. Didn't do too much farming stuff today. Did pick some stuff for the farmer's market, got the chickens moved. They're on a curve, so that always takes a little bit of extra time. Did all the chickens at the smaller property. Didn't do anything with the bees today. Right now my parents are here having fun looking for some more of those tomato worms. They're using a black light and they glow up in the dark. It's pretty neat, so they're easier to spot at night if you can use a black light and do that. So they're doing that right now. They've already found several. I'm still washing eggs. This should be the last week that I have to cram and wash all of them the night before and pack them in coolers. So that's gonna be a huge relief. The fridge should be here next week, and then I'll be able to just wash and pack and be ready and do it just every day when I grab eggs. So that'll be a good feeling, but I'm still gonna be working for a couple hours to get ready for tomorrow.